I'm Jai-Lynn Rodriguez. This is Jay's All Insight. Today I have a special guest here with me. He is an up-and-coming prospect, a Guatemalan national champion, along with being a two-time national champion. He has a name you do not want to forget. His name is Amador Mendez. Amador, how are you doing today? Tell me where you're from.
I'm doing good. I'm from Austin, Texas. Um, yeah, it's been good.
Have you been in Austin all your life?
I've born and raised here, yeah, all my life.
So what did your childhood look like growing up in Austin, Texas?
I was raised in a not very well environment when I was little, and my dad worked hard to get me a middle class lifestyle. I've been good, just working on boxing since I was like 5, so that's all I've ever known.
Did you play any other sports besides boxing?
No, I just got into it so young that I was never really interested in other sports. I would pass around the football and stuff like that, but I just never really wanted to get into it like I want to get into boxing.
And what made you pick up a pair of gloves and say, you know what, I want to box?
Yeah, me and my dad, we used to play around. He was never really home, so whenever he was home, he would like to play around, and we used to roughhouse, put on Rocky, and I'll pick up a little pair of gloves and I'll just hit him, just try to tag him up as much as I can. And then my teachers were like, the kid won't stop moving in class. He's being disruptive. He won't stop talking. He won't stop moving. My dad's like, what am I gonna do with this kid? And he's like, you know what, son, would you like to get into boxing? I'm like, yeah, that sounds real cool. So he put me in it during summer, probably like second grade summer, and he took me out of it for the school year. I'm like, hey, Dad, when am I gonna keep going to boxing? I asked that like probably 20 times throughout the school year. He's like, all right, I guess we're going back into it, and ever since.
So, was there ever a time in school where you would get in fights?
No, to be honest, I've always been a chill person because I was always real small. I was the smallest kid in my grade, and I would have confidence issues and stuff like that. So I just, instead of developing little man syndrome, I was just like, you know what? If I don't start nothing, nothing will happen. And then with boxing, it's just a good outlet to get out any anger I have or anything. So I've always been a cool person.
Do you think that because you started boxing at such a young age, you grew to be more confident, especially when it came to being in a public environment with other
Yeah,
kids?
I mean, whenever it comes to boxing and stuff like that, I feel like I don't have to flex and get into fights with people and stuff like that because it's like I fight for a living. So what does it matter if I hate you in the restroom? You know what I mean? So it's growing up and then getting a public image and stuff like that. I mean, it's my job. So I've practiced this over and over again. I ask myself questions in the mirror so I know how I would answer it. So it's been good, man.
At what age did you think, you know what, I can make a career out of this?
um Make a career out of it. I've just gone with it, to be honest. I never really said, man, I wanna do my whole life. I'm just like, let's just keep going and see what happens, and just kept going. And I was like, man, Mayweather talks a lot and he talks pretty well, and he makes a lot of money, so that's gonna be cool. I need to start practicing that. Mike Tyson's over here cussing dudes out, so they're talking and they're getting used to it, and they're in the public image. So I'm like, you need to be in the public eye to to make a career out of it. So I've always wanted to practice on it.
You said you watched Mayweather and Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
Who were some fighters that you watched growing up that you idolized, that you wanted to be like, that you wanted to imitate? Who did you look up to?
I mean, I didn't even really look up to Mayweather. I was on the side of wanting him to lose because he didn't have a good public image with his dad, but he just didn't lose, and that frustration became admiration to say, man, he just don't lose, and no one likes him, but you can't take anything away from him. So he was a big influence. Canelo's always been an influence. Recent years has been Terrence Crawford, stuff like that. It's always changing. I never keep a favorite fighter because I want to be my own favorite fighter. So I just try to take little pieces of everything and try to combine it.
Out of those fighters, you said Terrence Crawford, Canelo. Who would you say has the better style that you would like to, I guess,
Imitate?
imitate?
Right now it's Terrence Crawford, man. I really like the way he switches, his foot movement, his defense, is able to keep his distance and put his punches together so well. That's the man right now for me.
You have the Olympics this year in Paris. Was there ever a goal for you to make it to the
Oh,
Olympics?
I always wanted to make it to the Olympics because um I could have gone for Guatemala, but I was very fed up with the amateurs, to be honest. I didn't like the system. I didn't like the tournaments. Didn't like having to maintain weight for 10 days on end. to go to these international shows. And to be honest, I always seen the Olympics as a stepping stone to help me in the pros. Cause around 16, I'm like, school isn't for me anymore. I haven't been going for a little bit. What am I gonna do in my life? This is all I got. So what's gonna help me get there? So the Olympics was there. Then I got the opportunity with Ryan Garcia. I got the eyes on me that the Olympics would have given me. So the Olympics would have been a cool dream to go to, but I don't need it.
So Ryan Garcia, you
Mm-hmm.
mentioned him. We've seen on your Instagram that you've sparred him before. You've been in the ring with him,
Mm-hmm.
practicing. What was that like, and what were you looking for and expecting from him?
It was cool. It was very instant. Just we got the call from a sparring partner saying, "Hey man, you owe me big time." We're like, "What do you mean?" Because we were in the talks about sparring Sean Garcia, and he's like, "Nah, you owe me big time." I'm like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "I got you, Ryan." I'm like, "For real?" He's like, "You gotta come tomorrow at this time and this time." I'm like, "Oh man, let's go." And I got in there, and I was like, I was nervous in the gym. I was like, "Oh my God, what am I gonna do?" Oh shit. And then I stepped in there and I just touched his gloves and it was on. And I had no respect for him in there. Afterwards, I'm like, oh my God, I spotted Ryan Garcia. Holy shit. But he was like, oh, you look just like me when I was younger. I'm like, I look nothing like you. But it was real cool. He was like, where are you from? I'm like, I'm from Austin. He's like, how far is that away? I'm like, 3 hours. He's like, I need you here tomorrow. In 2 days. I'm like, I have to pick up my sister, and it's like a 3 hour drive. He's like, oh, don't worry about that. I got you with the Airbnb for 2 weeks. He's very impulsive like that. It was a great experience. He's a very nice dude. He gave me a lot of knowledge. I've been in contact with him since, but it was cool meeting him.
While you were in the gym with him and
Yeah,
looking forward to your pro debut, did it make you more confident?
yeah, because he is known as a world class contender. You know, he fought Gervonta Davis. You know, he's been close to having belts, and he told me he's making all this money without even needing belts. So if he's able to do it, that just gives me the confidence that I can do that for myself, and that I really have what it takes to make it in this boxing stuff. So it boosted my confidence so much, and it just made me feel like such a better fighter. And since then, I sparred Shakur, and I've gotten offers from all these different things. Just makes me feel so much better about myself and my abilities.
You said you sparred Shakur. How was that?
Shakur, it was a lot different from Ryan because he's a southpaw. He's a lot more technical. With Ryan, I felt like if he lands that left hook on me, I was done. But that was the thing I had to worry for. But with Shakur, it's like, all right, I just can't let him land too much, or else he's gonna start going off on me. So it was two different styles. It was great work with both of them though. A lot more technical with Shakur though.
Which one did you most enjoy?
With enjoy, I mean, I was with Ryan more, so I got what I like to do with these guys. I like to talk to them in the ring, so I built a relationship with Ryan because I was with him for 2 weeks. So I'm like, oh no, that left hook's coming, right, Ryan? Is it coming? Is it coming? What are you gonna do? You gonna throw it? You gonna throw it? And he gave me a black eye. I'm like, oh shit, Ryan, that was a good one right there. I'm coming now. I'm coming. And with Shakur, I would try to talk to him, but I only had 2 days to get him known like that. So with Ryan, it was a better experience because I was with him for longer.
Were you scared about Ryan's left hook?
Yeah, I kept my right hand up a lot. The last day he hurt my wrist pretty bad. I wasn't able to train for a month afterwards, so it's
Oh, wow.
legit. Yeah,
When you sparred Shakur, you know him in the ring. How do you feel about all the criticism he's getting lately?
yeah. I mean, I think from an outside perspective, I could see what they're saying, but as a boxer, as many boxers I talk to, I think we all respect Shakur. I think for anybody that would be a hard fight for anybody really. He's so good with distance management. Being in there with him, I could see how his brain thinks and see all the gears turning and see how he's 2 steps ahead already. You know, he may not be throwing the hardest and stuff like that, but it's still a very difficult fight for anybody, and I feel like he's a very good fighter. So I think people just don't know what it is to be like to be a boxer, you know? If you're not a boxer, I don't think you could really criticize him.
Yeah, because I've heard other people that have sparred him say he's not the hardest puncher, but he has a good ring IQ and he's smart in the ring.
Hmm.
Can you attest to that?
Yeah, I mean, it's not even like he throws soft, you know? He just doesn't have the knockout power. He doesn't hit you on the chin where you go to sleep, but it's still you still feel something, you know? You could be like the fastest dude in the world, but if you don't throw hard at all, it does not matter. So Shakur has somewhat of some power, you know, and He's very smart. He's a very smart fighter.
So you're looking to make your pro debut soon.
Mm-hmm.
What can the fight fans expect from you as a boxer?
Mm-hmm. As a boxer, I mean, I had this setback with the pro debut with the Gervonta card. It made me real sad, but then it just makes me angry, and that just uh helps with my hunger. I'm just hungrier than ever. I was dealing with the injury, but now I'm coming back better than ever. Just had some amazing sparring yesterday. I'm feeling right. I'm feeling like I'm really trying to go for pain. Really, I just wanna solidify my name within these next 10 fights to show gonna be a big prospect. So I'm hoping for all knockouts with these first 5 to 10 to all. I just want all.
You know, you're expecting big fights. You
Mm-hmm.
want these big fights. You want
Mm-hmm.
to make a name for yourself. What's something you want people to look at when it comes to your style in the ring?
When it comes to style, just want them to see my distance, my management, my defense. That to see that I don't have the most power or the most speed, but I'm able to deal with that by having a bigger IQ, by having a good IQ to deal with my faults, my little imperfections, and to still get on top with it.
So you'd say you'd have a well ring IQ.
Mm-hmm.
Growing up, were you a natural when it came to boxing, or is it something you had to work at?
I've had talent. You know, I've been told I have had talent. But like you said, I won 2 nationals, and I lost a lot in the amateurs. I'm not afraid to say it. I didn't have the best amateur career. That's why that Ryan stuff helped me a lot. So I was never quick to it. Some people had a lot more talent than me. You know, there's always gonna be somebody who's just out there talented, just all around better than you. So, but with boxing, it's a marathon, not a race. You know, so those talented people, many of them have fallen off. So I mean, I've just worked. That's all I have. It's talent on top of hard work. And I was not understanding why my talent wasn't taking me there. I'm like, everyone's telling me I'm so talented. I could be world champion. I could do all this, but it's not working. What's the missing factor? It's work. It's work. It's putting in the hours and understanding that you're not better, that someone out there is better than you and striving to beat them.
You want to become the best. You want to be the best.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you're putting in the work.
Mm-hmm.
At what point, at what age were you like, you know what, I want to take this very seriously and I want to be the best at what I'm good at?
Mm-hmm. I'll say around my junior year, so around 16 years old. Me and my dad talked about it, and I stopped going to public school so I could start training 2 to 3 times a day. And since that's all I'm doing all day, every day, that's when I made the decision. If I'm not in school, what am I supposed to do? You know, this is what I have to focus on. I threw away everything other career I could have had. I can't be architect. I can't do anything else, you know? So this is what I have. So I got to deal with it. I'm going to have to put my all into this.
And you had a supportive family, you know,
Mm-hmm.
behind you,
Mm-hmm.
which I'm sure helped a lot through the whole process of you wanting to become pro.
Yeah, of course. I mean, it wasn't easy telling my mom I'm not going to public school anymore, but she dealt with it. You know, she's seen me lose, and the way she still put up with me not going to school anymore and saying, you know what, I see that you have the talent. I'm willing to deal with it. It was, it made me feel so much better about my choices.
Now, you mentioned your mom. Growing up, was she against you boxing? Did she want you to try any other sports? Or was she just, you
Yeah,
know?
she still talks to me. She's like, why are you doing all this? Why you want to get punched in the face? Boxing breaks your heart all the time. Why don't you just go try to be a model or an actor or some shit like that? I'm like, because this is all I want to do. I don't want to look pretty. I want to get hit in the face. I know it sounds stupid, but it's so fun. It's so fun to me. That's all I want to do is I just want to have fun and be the best I can be. So she understood. She understood this is the only passion I've ever had. She's very supportive with it.
When it came to the process of you saying, okay, I'm going to drop out of public school, did you become homeschooled or was
I
that,
was homeschooled for a while, yeah.
did you like it?
Mm-mm. No, I wasn't good in a classroom setting, so just working from home wasn't any better of a setting because I could just turn on my Xbox and play some games instead of doing the schoolwork. So it was hard doing it. Yeah, it was not a good experience, but I managed. I got used to it real quickly, and it just wasn't for me.
Yeah. So when you finally graduated, now you're consistently in the gym. What's something you feel like from when you were in the amateurs to now, looking forward to becoming pro? What's something you feel like you've really grown at? Not just physically, but also mentally.
Mentally, I feel like I've just matured, you know. I felt like I never had a childhood really growing up because it was just boxing all the time. And now I've lived and I've had experiences and all that. And I've realized that boxing has helped me so much in life to steer me in the right direction, you know. Instead of out there, you know, being in the streets with all the other kids, you know, playing and around 16, you know, just going to parties and drinking all that. I think if it wasn't for boxing, I'd have a much different life. So I've gone to appreciate it and said, you know what, I have to be a man, you know, I have to grow up and really understand what comes with it, you know, pay the price. And I've paid the price and I'm willing to do it over and over again. So it's just maturity really. You know, willing to wake up at 5 a.m. to go run, you know, not have to be told it. If my coach can't train me a day, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to train myself that day and just keep at it.
So you mentioned your routine. What does your routine look like in a day?
Routine, usually wake up, go for a little jog, go to strength and conditioning, boxing later, just on a regular day. When it comes to training camps, it always varies. We change it up. It's just about not doing too much and not too little, of course, but you don't want to hurt your body while training too hard. I mean, no one likes to train every single day, but whenever it comes to sparring, I'm the first one to volunteer, you know? So I would love to do that, but sometimes I have to understand I have to take a couple of days off to heal. You know, when I came back from my injury from Vegas, I took 2 weeks off, and that was the whole worst time of my life. It was just depression because I can't be in the gym. I felt lazy. I felt like a slob. You know, not being in the gym, it was very mentally straining. But I have to understand that it takes time to heal. I go through physical therapy. I'm sponsored by a chiropractor and stuff like that. So healing is very important.
I'm going to give you a list of names.
Mm-hmm.
Describe each fighter with one word.
Okay.
Okay. Tank Davis.
Tremendous. I just can't say anything else about him. You know, he's just such a good fighter.
Okay. Terrence Crawford.
IQ,
Ryan Garcia.
explosive,
Devin Haney.
pillow hands,
Canelo Alvarez.
face of boxing.
Do you think he'll fight Benavidez?
I think, I think it would be a good fight, but I don't even know if he needs to really, man. He's getting older, you know, and if he doesn't, what does it matter? It's not my problem, you know. So I would hope so, maybe, but that dude has gone up so many weight divisions. It doesn't even matter at this point, you know. He's already a future Hall of Famer. What does it matter? But I hope so. I hope so. I think Canelo doesn't want to fight him due to the fact that it's a Mayweather versus Canelo in that situation where even if Canelo wins or loses, he was still going to be the next face of that division. Benavidez is going to be the next face of that division no matter what, but that's what it's going to be. So win or lose, Benavidez is going to be the next guy. So it doesn't matter Canelo in that sense. But I hope they do fight. I really do.
Fighters are always
Yeah.
moving. But what are those names that you would like to fight someday?
With boxing, you never know who's going to be the next face of what division because some people just get knocked out and they lose all their fame. So, I mean, anyone who is a name now might not be a name 10 years from now or whenever so I don't want to call out any contenders right now because I don't want to give them any noise, but I would love to fight anybody who's a big name now. So anybody, I'm willing to fight anybody right now.
What would be your dream matchup? Who would you love to fight? Either old school fighters or today?
Old school fighters are today. I would love to fight Salvador Sanchez. He seems so cool, and one thing that I've taken from him is his ability to rise to the occasion. You know, you could see Salvador Sanchez losing a couple rounds and then him just pick up steam and him just learning to outclass him throughout and just gradually getting better and better throughout it. So I feel like I've always have that ability of match energy. You know, I've always felt like if you push me, I'm gonna just keep pushing and I would rise to the level, you know. So I think two people rising to the level, I feel like that would be a great matchup. I love to watch other people's craft and to learn from them. So everybody really, every old school Sugar Ray, Roberto Duran, people like that.
A lot of big names come out of Texas. We're talking about Jack Johnson, Terry Norris, George Foreman, the Canizales brothers, Errol Spence, the Charlo twins. I mean, the list goes on and on. Now, when your career is all said and done, where will Amador rank not just a boxer out of Texas, but among some of the all-time greats?
I really want to be, maybe we have it around here somewhere. But when I was growing up, when I was in my first gym, Step in the Ring boxing gym, I used to jump rope, and there used to be a picture of all the all-time greats. And you used to see Manny Pacquiao, Floyd Mayweather, Pernell Whitaker, George Foreman. Everyone was on there, and I used to just imagine myself being on there. So I want to be there. And you said George Foreman is from Texas. And whenever you think of George Foreman, you don't even think of Texas. That's how big I want to be, I didn't even know he was from Texas. Like, I just remembered that. I don't want to be remembered being from Texas. I want to be remembered as one of the greats.
You have a lot of people that you can look up to.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people that you can learn from. Who's a fighter that you feel like you can really learn from their mistakes? Who's someone that you feel like...
Learn from their mistakes, huh? Good question. Roberto Duran, really. I mean, I feel like after his win against Sugar Ray Leonard, I felt like he got what he wanted. I feel like he got too comfortable after there, And that second fight, I think he couldn't perform because he got too comfortable and he wasn't hungry anymore. So I think losing that hunger is one of the biggest mistakes you can make in boxing. So I think that's him. I think comfortability really can end your career, and I've gone comfortable before and have to snap out of it, because I've told people like this before. I've never been the guy to win it all, so I'm just chasing the squirrel. I'm a dog chasing a squirrel, I just want to keep chasing it. If I get too comfortable and I get it all, once I get a belt, I need to get another one. I need to get another one. I need to try to strive for more. Because if I say what else is there to do, I'm gonna get too comfortable and I'm not gonna want to do anything else. So I think that's what I gotta do. Never get comfortable. I gotta get on myself about getting too comfortable.
What's something you feel like is your strong suit? Something that you're never gonna lose?
Strong suit on. Jab. The jab. I could go away for months on end. I'll still have that jab, and that's my perfect rangefinder. Because once I hit you with the jab, I'm gonna know my distance of how I'm gonna hit you with the right hand and how the left hook's coming. So, I think that's it right there.
You have a whole career ahead of you. You
Yeah,
haven't even got started yet. People haven't even seen
yeah.
your true potential. Even later on, when you have those opportunities, you're still always going to have that chance to show your full arsenal.
Uh-huh.
What are you most excited about to show those future fight fans?
I think I've been in the amateur so long. You have to get accustomed to the amateur style. So I can't wait to really get into the professional flow and to really show people I have the power, I have the speed, I have everything, So I think just really getting into my own as a professional is going to be the biggest treat for fans. I think I've always had professional style, and to really become a professional is going to be the biggest treat I could show.
When will you make your pro debut? When can we see that from
We're
you?
in talks right now. Maybe in September, probably in October. We're trying to figure some stuff out right now, but big moves coming soon for sure.
Where can the people that don't know you, where can they find you at? Where can they keep up with you?
Instagram, Amador_Mendez and _blindsider. TikTok coming soon, I hope. Just been procrastinating too much, but I gotta get into it.
You got to get on that.
I gotta get on that.
That's
I
where
just
you can
can't
grow.
dance, so just gotta get on that. I need to learn how to dance.
What's some words of advice or words to your future fight fans? What can you tell them?
Consistency is key. Doesn't talent quits, talent goes away. But consistency, if you're consistent with it, I mean, you could go far in life. I think even if you end up not making it, I think it's better to have tried and failed than not try at all. So that's it. That's all I can say.